Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel Learn with Sam Daily Dose of Knowledge. Let's see some of the basic concepts related to banking and other financial institutions. First, what is banking? Bank is an institution offering certain financial services such as safekeeping of our money, converting the domestic currencies to foreign currencies, lending of money at interest, and acceptance of bills of exchange. Here we are going to discuss about the achievement and challenges of few institutions. Some of them are private banks, public banks, cooperative banks, foreign banks, small finance banks, microfinance banks, and so on. Let's see in depth about public sector banks. Public sector bank is nothing but it's a major type of government owned bank, which means government owned about 50% of shares. This is held by the Ministry of Finance, the Government of India, or State Ministry of Finance. And then the shares of this government owned bank was listed on the stock exchange. Their main objective is social welfare. Some of the examples are Punjab National Bank, SBI, Central Bank of India. These are under the control of the government. And here I've displayed 12 public sector banks for your better clarification. Some of the examples are, as I already told, SBI, Punjab National Bank, and then Union Bank, Canara Bank, Indian Bank, Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Central Bank of India, IOB, UCO Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, Punjab and Sindh Bank. These are some of the banks which was nationalized previously, which means there were 14 nationalized banks at the initial time. So some of them were listed in this slide. And next we move on to the achievements of the public sector bank. Actually, this public sector bank was started with only 5 banks in India in 1951, but now it reached about more than 360 enterprises in the public sector all over the India. The number of borrowed accounts of the priority sector with the public sector banks have been increased gradually, and they have contributed various economical developmental activities such as poverty alleviation programs, financial literacy campaigns, rural development schemes, and those steps made an initiative such as Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, Mudra Yojana. So these are the schemes which were developed for the development of the backward areas or the rural people or the public sectors. And next we move on to the challenges. What are the challenges that was faced by the public sector banks? First, in rural branches, they are faced with the financial loss, and in public interest, these banks were both in the urban and rural areas. So there is no that much reach, and there will be high overdue amount, and this advancement of the private banks will become a biggest challenge for the public sector banks, and there will be high non-performing assets, and there is a lack of banking under the rural populations. There will be low profitability, and the bad loans were not repaid properly. So these are the challenges faced by them. And next we move on to the private bank. What is private bank? In name itself we can get it, a bank which was owned by the private people. It means an individual or a general partners or limited partners. So this bank equity is a significant portion. This was owned by any private individual or a corporations. Here I have displayed some of the private sector banks like Axis, ICICI, HDFC, Federal Banks, CSB, Kotak. These are the few banks we came across through these days. And next, we move to the achievements. These private sector banks were excellent in the customer services. Actually, this made the public sector banks to goes down because of their excellent customer services, innovation, and social responsibility. These sector banks have achieved a lot, and they have adapted the digital technologies to offer some convenient, secure, and personalized banking solutions. And these bank branches have become more technologically enabled, offering self services and video conferencing and interactive displays. So they created a strategy to expand their business potential in metaverse for enhancing their customers' experience. And here I have displayed some of the challenges, and the bank have to train their staff to handle this complex and emotional customer queries. Nowadays, handling the customer is one of the important point or a important part of a business. because we are engaging with many customers, so each and every personality differs from one another. So we have to handle every kind of situations, especially in the private sector bank. They will be facing many challenges in the customer queries and chatbots, voice assistants, video banking. Actually developing into the technology, how much we are developing into the technology, that much we are facing many challenges in our life. And second point, they are improving their profitability in the competitive and uncertain environment, because nowadays the private banks are emerging everywhere, so there will be a competition, and this leads to adapting the new technologies, and they have to compete with the fintechs and other players. Next, foreign banks. As we all know, foreign banks means opening a branch in different nation than the headquarters. For example, in America, a bank is situated, but the branches are situated in India, Canada, China. So that is known as a foreign bank. A bank which opens a branches in different nations but have an headquarter in one place. So they have a registered office in one country, and these banks open in branches in many countries. They are providing services for the multinational customers. Some of the examples are here: RBS, Barclays, BBK, Doha Bank, Bank of America, and these are some of the examples. And achievements of the foreign banks are they have contributed to the country's technological development, especially in the areas of the digital banking, fintech, open banking, chatbots, and advanced analytics. They provided competitive interest rates, lower charges and fees, and better customer services. And they are also providing the global expertise and network to offer the cross-border solution and services. They make product innovations based on the changes in the preferences and the needs of the customer. And here are some of the challenges: the impact of the various global risks and shocks, like we have faced the LPG afterwards, because before there will be many trade restrictions when we and when we trade across any countries. But nowadays, after this LPG has arrived, many liberalization have been made. So some of the global risk and shocks, such as high inflation rate, interest rate variations, Russia-Ukraine conflict. So this pandemic have affected a lot in these foreign banks, and they have to comply with the various regulatory norms and guidelines which was issued by the authorities in their own countries and also the host countries. So they face a stiff competition from all the sides of banking sectors, and they have to ensure the security and privacy of their data and systems against the cyber threats. And this is cooperative banks, and these cooperative banks have been divided into two parts. One is agriculture and this non-agricultural. Agriculture, that consists of a short-term cooperative bank, state, central, PACS, and this is classified as a medium-term, long-term, state land development bank, primary land development bank, and so on. And microfinance banks is giving more finance to the new startup venture, which accelerate the business growth of the small venture business. Here are the small finance banks. Actually, this majorly focusing on the financial inclusion and to develop the unorganized sectors, farmers, and small industries. Thank you all for listening and watching my presentation. Do like and comment, share with your friends. Do follow for more educative contents. Tata, bye bye. See you in next video.